Pro-regime demonstrators in Iran chanted "Death to America" and held signs calling for the assassination of President Donald Trump, images from Iranian state television showed Thursday. The footage came from an event held at Tehran University that was organized by the government. Several protesters held photos of Ayatollah Ali Khamenei, while some brought makeshift signs featuring photos of Trump after the failed assassination attempt against him in Pennsylvania. Multiple signs featured Arabic text translating to, "This time there will be no error." Another sign showed the same photo with a caption in English, "The arrow doesn't always miss." The protest event comes as the Iranian regime contends with widespread unrest due to the country's economic crisis. Humanitarian groups estimate that Iranian forces have killed over 2,000 protesters, though the true number could be far higher. Iran appeared to reopen its airspace Thursday after a sudden overnight closure disrupted flights across the region. The overnight closure lasted around 5 hours after a notice to air missions, or NOTAM, was issued, according to the aviation risk monitoring site Safe Airspace. President Donald Trump told reporters in the Oval Office Wednesday he was informed the killing of protesters in Iran was stopping. "We have been notified, and really strongly, but we'll find out what that all means. But we've been told that the killing in Iran is stopping," he said. The U.S.-based human rights activists' news agency, IRANIAN, which tracks human rights violations in Iran, said Wednesday that nationwide protests continued into an 18th day as authorities maintained a near-total internet shutdown. The group's aggregated figures showed 617 protest gatherings in 187 cities across the country, the arrest of at least 18,470 people, and the confirmed deaths of 2,615 individuals. IRANIAN said 2,435 of those killed were protesters, including 13 children under the age of 18. Trump has threatened action against the regime, warning Tehran in multiple Truth Social posts to stop killing its people. "We are locked and loaded and ready to go," he wrote on New Year's Day. Also, President Donald Trump warned Thursday that he would invoke the Insurrection Act if people in Minnesota don't obey the law and continue attacking federal agents there. "If the corrupt politicians of Minnesota don't obey the law and stop the professional agitators and insurrectionists from attacking the patriots of I.C.E., who are only trying to do their job, I will institute the Insurrection Act, which many presidents have done before me, and quickly put an end to the travesty that is taking place in that once great state," Trump wrote on Truth Social. The president's warning comes after a second ICE-involved shooting in Minneapolis in recent days. An ICE agent shot an alleged illegal immigrant in the leg on Wednesday during an arrest attempt. The Department of Homeland Security claims the agent fired at the suspect because he was fearing for his life and safety after the individual resisted arrest and violently assaulted the officer. "And quickly put an end to the travesty that is taking place in that once great state," Trump wrote on Truth Social. The Insurrection Act, an 1807 law, has not been invoked since the 1992 Los Angeles riots. The order allows the president to deploy the military to suppress rebellions and enforce federal laws. If invoked, it would grant Trump the authority to federalize the National Guard and deploy active duty forces to restore order. It would temporarily override the Posse Comitatus Act, which normally restricts the use of the military for domestic law enforcement. Minnesota Governor Tim Walz, following Trump's post, made a direct appeal to the president on X. "Let's turn the temperature down. Stop this campaign of retribution. This is not who we are," the Democrat said, and an appeal to Minnesotans. "I know this is scary. We must speak out loudly, urgently, but also peacefully. We cannot fan the flames of chaos. That's what he wants." In response to Walz, White House spokesperson Abigail Jackson said, "Tim Walz, Jacob Frey, and Democrat leaders in Minnesota have done nothing but turn up the temperature, smear heroic ICE officers, and incite violence against them, all in defense of criminal, illegal aliens." In Minnesota, ICE has arrested rapists, drug traffickers, domestic abusers, and more, despite Democrat opposition. The Trump administration will protect the American people and enforce the law without apology. The only statement Tim Walz should be making is an apology. He has repeatedly compared ICE officers to Nazis and lied about their important work, including in his speech just last night, Jackson also said. The suspect in Wednesday's shooting was reported to be in stable condition and is now in custody, while the ICE agent is allegedly in the hospital. This comes after an incident last week in Minneapolis where Renee Nicole Good, a U.S. citizen, was fatally shot by an ICE agent after authorities alleged she tried to ram her vehicle into federal agents during an immigration enforcement operation. Protests in Minnesota continued on Wednesday after the latest shooting, with demonstrators using horns and whistles and officers deploying tear gas and pepper balls. Finally, on sports, Manchester United have beaten Manchester City 2-0 in Michael Carrick's first game back as interim head coach. After Ahmad and Bruno Fernandes had goals ruled out in the first half, United finally beat Gianluigi Donnarumma when a quick counterattack from a City free kick resulted in Brian Mbeumo slotting home. The Blues weren't at the races, and when Rico Lewis switched off at the back post, Patrick Dorgu nipped in to make it 2. United thought they had a third in stoppage time through Mason Mount, but Matthias Cunha was just offside in the build-up. The defeat leaves City 6 points behind Arsenal in the title race, with the Gunners holding a game in hand. As for United, they are well and truly in the hunt for a spot in the Champions League next season.